Okay, hi to anyone watching this. I just realized the last time that I forgot to turn on the audio, so this is now the third time trying to record this. So, to start off, I did all of the testing on plunder instead of pilfer, which is the upgraded version of plunder. Uh, so I've read that they do give different results, so that is something to consider when hearing all of these results. Uh, so the second point is all enemy drops appear to be the same as their normal drop pool in terms of they won't get any additional items added to their loot pool. Uh, but in the other direction, there are some things that enemies won't drop that they normally would if it was from normal means of like just picking up from after killing them. Uh, Now I think this would be a good point to then go through a couple of the enemies that I killed whilst I was going through this and all the stealing that I did from the enemies. So the first one is goblins. They were one of the ones that I used the skill on the most, or one of the most. They weren't the most. Uh, so in 57 times of harvesting from them, I got 10 grapes, 3 silver ore, 17 ripened apples. That was the most out of all of them. 3 wakestone shards, 2 scrag of beast, 11 sets of 50 gold, 9 apples, 1 withered branch, and 1 onyx. Then, uh, hobgoblins, I didn't test as much, like even nearly as much. They seem to give higher money amounts, though, so that's something to consider. They also drop silver ore, but more of it. They also drop more high tier healing items. So I got 8 silver ore, 2 aged shorefish, a mighty roborant, 2 beast steak, 5 lantern oil, a set of 230 gold, aged scrag of beast, and regular scrag of beast. Then, for wolves, I got 17 rotten scrag of beast, uh, like much higher than any of these other things after it, 8 aged scrag of beast, 2 beast steak, 1 wakestone shard, and 2 aged beast steak. Uh, so that might be too small of a number of tests done on the wolves, but from what I can tell, they seem to only drop food items when you're stealing from them, which I guess makes sense. Then skeletons, I got in like, I don't know, I think I worked out it was like 20 something uh steals from skeletons. Uh, by the way, they have to be in one piece when you're stealing from them. You can't be stealing from them when they're like in the you just have to hit their head state. So I got from stealing from them 7 of the Fulgurous Lord spell book thing, 8 of the fire spell one that they drop, 7 scrap iron, 1 exquisite dried fish, 10 drenching arrows in sets of 2. So I stole it from them 5 times. Uh, 1 stability extract, 3 wakestone shard, 2 tarring arrows in one go, 1 jagged bone, 1 ripened apple, and then a silver ore. So yeah, it as you'll see with also phantoms. Hold on, let me check the phantom stat. Uh, where they dropped 3 miasmite and then a hunk of rift crystal and a giant hunk of rift crystal times 3. Uh, they seem to majoritively, the night enemies seem to majoritively drop, uh, like special items over food items, which is really interesting. Then, now I've spoken about like the night enemies. Next thing, a very common enemy I harvested from 66 times as of uh stopping recording data, but a few more times on the other attempts to record this. Uh, I got 33 aged shorefish, 16 regular shorefish, 13 monster fang, and 4 wakestone shards. But this might change the data a bit. I did get quite a few monster fangs, like 3 or 4, when I harvested a few more earlier, and that I didn't add that to the list. Then asps. Asps are the poisonous version of the saurian lizard things. They drop majoritively aged tide swimmer, so if you want loads of fish and you want them to be the higher level ones for the higher level healing items, you should actually harvest the asps, even though there are less of them in at least in the earlier game. That's all I've been testing this with. Um, oh yeah, another thing. Asps drop toxic scale, uh, like their scales, as a stealable item, which isn't the case with any other enemies I've seen, as far as I can remember. Lost mercenaries, I didn't really test many of them. Mostly they just dropped food items and money. Then undead enemies, they just seem to drop random stuff. Two putrid gold teeth, 1 wakestone shard, 2 dried fruit, 1 ripened hearthbud, 1 rotten scrag of beast, 1 ring of tepidity. Oh yeah. So I want to say something after just saying these last 2 drops. 325 gold and a leap worm skin. So, speaking about the ring that it drops, enemies still drop weapons, which is very odd because they don't drop some of their other items. So I don't understand. But the point is, wights drop black. I drop. I got one to drop 1 black crystal, 1 prescribed tranquility. I think that's the silence spell book, and 1 archer staff called. I don't know how you'd pronounce this. It's like Kraos Tine or something. It's some special uh staff that you get from them. It looks cool, but I don't have somebody that can use it yet. So for now, that's just in an inventory. But point is, enemies can have the special items stolen from them. Now, is there any other notable ones? I only tested like drakes and such once, so I got a wakestone shard from a drake, 2 rotten scrag of beast from a rattler, or from rattlers, uh, lantern oil from a stout undead, uh, 3 green warish from a chopper, 3 withered branches as well, and then 2 dried flowers. Uh, Chimeras drop tiger eye if you want gems and stuff, and a freakish mane, so the regular item drop. Uh, then rogues drop uh exquisite dried meat 8 times out of the times I stole from them. Uh, 2 explosive arrows twice, 250 gold twice, 2 exquisite dried fish, 3 wakestone shard, 2 jasper, 1 like in one go, 2 jasper, which is interesting. 300 gold twice and 1 salubrious draft. Uh, so yeah, rogues drop a lot of food items too, but also money. Oh yeah, you can harvest enemies like boars and stuff that aren't even normally aggressive enemies. You can just like stagger one of them and then steal from it, and then it gets aggro if you do that though. Then I also got some aged scrag of beast and an ogre spur from an ogre. I killed I killed a lesser dragon twice where or like the first time I tried to fight it, I failed completely and it ran away, so then I ended up resetting. Uh, on before reloading, I got a Worm's Life Crystal, and then after reloading, I got a Wakestone Shard. So that does also mean that the drop rate, or the drops change if you reload a save, which is even more interesting than a lot of the other information that I've found so far. Then finally, uh, just before testing, and just before starting on trying to film this video, uh, I got a miracle roborant from a griffin. So if you can somehow farm them, you can get those. Although you might as well just get saurian tails and healing items if you're going to do that. Um, then, now that I've gone through all of that, I should explain at what states can enemies be stolen from. So, uh, goblins, you can just hit them with a heavy attack, even. They just need to be in a semi-staggered state, and then they can be stolen from. Phantoms are a weird exception, where they don't have a stagger state, I don't think. They just need to be close enough to you for you to hit them. Uh, and you can steal from them if you're close enough to hit them. Uh, usually. Uh, and then most other enemies can be stolen from if they're like sent flying or if they're uh in that like down on one knee staggered state. That's the general idea of what a staggered enemy is in terms of stealing from them. There's also like the larger enemies though, where they need to like fully be down on the floor in their special staggered states. Um, then I don't know if I mentioned this already. I did reference some stuff from online to try and see how different the drop rates are. But even if I didn't look at those drop rates online, uh, so uh, things like no, no, it doesn't even seem to be any specific things, but certain usually common items just do not drop from enemies like goblin horns and beast skin. So if you're looking for those things, you have to kill the enemies basically. Uh, I think that's basically it. So yeah, Phantom's inconsistent to steal from. That was the last note I made. Uh, thanks for listening to any of this. I hope this actually recorded sound properly. Bye.